Good morning, friends. I am here with our daily Disney devotional, and today we are reading number 85, Expedition Everest. My son's favorite, well, it was his favorite ride in Animal Kingdom until Flight of Passage opened. He may still prefer Expedition Everest. Anyway, the last time we were there, he convinced me to get on this roller coaster, and you guys, I don't do roller coasters. I'm a circle ride person. I thought I was going to die. It was so fast and scary to me. Whew. Okay. Having enjoyed the safari, let's trek over to the other side of the park to another very popular ride. Expedition Everest is a fairly uncommon Disney roller coaster that opened in April of 2006. It was one of the most expensive rides that Disney had ever created, with a price tag of $100 million. In fact, it held the 2011 Guinness record for the most expensive roller coaster ever created. Disney doesn't build a whole lot of roller coasters, at least not like other competitors like Six Flags. Therefore, they went all out on this one. It goes 50 miles an hour. Includes an 80-foot drop. Oh my God, it just sounds scary just reading that. Oh, and goes both backwards and forwards. The first Disney ride to do so. The ride takes nearly 3 minutes and accommodates approximately 2,000 riders per hour. The ride resembles the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. Although Disney's mountain is 199.5 feet tall, this makes it Disney's tallest ride and still allows it to avoid the light required by the FAA for structures 200 feet or taller. There is a popular rumor out there that Disney's Everest is the tallest mountain in Florida, although this is not true. Actually, Britton Hill on the panhandle of Florida Alabama line is the tallest at 345 feet, and that is considerably taller. The ride also includes the fictional Yeti, although many claims its authenticity. The Yeti is shown in the shadow form, but also as a gigantic audio animatronic. This giant creature used to move when the ride first opened, but it hasn't worked since a few months after opening. The frame holding the beast split soon after the ride became operational, and operating it would cause major risk. For that reason, all you see now is a giant creature in a strobe light to make it appear as though he's moving. I actually read a report where the Imagineer in charge of building this ride said that one day the Yeti will be fixed. However, that quote was from 2013, so don't get your hopes up. The coaster resembles a steam train, and you see actual steam, which comes from special vents underneath. The steam is actually not water-based, but to prevent the cars and track from rusting. The cast members who open and close this ride have to walk the entire length of the track each day to assure safety. Wow. Try to get in the very front or the very back of this ride for a couple of reasons. If you're in the very front, your coaster gets to the very top and briefly stops. Sorry. You can see a great view of Epcot and the other Disney icons from the top. Okay, not me, because that would be like this. Also, from the front or the back, you can watch the entire track turn over. If you're in the back, you can turn around and see it when you're stopped at the top. If you're in the front, you can see it in front of you when you're stopped watching the Shadow Yeti. Also, at the top, look out to see many hair bands on the side of the track. This is apparently a bizarre rider tradition to throw these out. You know, one girl probably lost hers and everybody else is like, oh, let's throw ours. I used to be a 6th grade history teacher, and we would talk about Mount Everest every year in our discussion of India. It's the world's tallest mountain and has always fascinated me. A very small part of me would love to climb it, although I know I'd be putting my life in major jeopardy, not to mention my bank account. It's apparently very expensive and very dangerous to climb. While this particular mountain isn't mentioned in the Bible, several important ones are. Think about Mount Sinai and Moses from Exodus 20. Think about Mount Ararat and Noah, Genesis 8. Think about Mount Carmel and Elijah from 1 Kings 18. If you're unfamiliar with any of these, take some time to read them. There are great mountain stories, among many in Scripture. Today I'd like to focus on Mount Moriah. Do you know who climbed that one? This is the mountain that Abraham climbed when God told him to sacrifice his one and only son, Isaac. Just like Mount Everest, that story has always intrigued and fascinated me. The story is found in Genesis 22. Go back and read the story as well. Take some time to truly focus on what God asked Abraham to do. Put yourself in his position. What would you do? I've often thought about it, and I don't like thinking about it. What an impossible situation. What a true test of faith. How is your faith? Would you have faith in God to sacrifice someone that you love? Isn't that exactly what God did for all of us by giving Jesus to die on the cross? Hebrews 11:6 says, "And without faith it is impossible to please him, for whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him." According to this verse, it is impossible to please God without strong faith. Faith is difficult, and it seems sometimes hard to trust God and his plan for us. With our trivial human minds, we like to try to do things on our own, thinking that we know best. But we must have faith in God to trust us in his will for us. Everest is a great ride and a favorite of many. I like it a lot, but I can only do it a couple of times before the backward part gets to me. I hope I can continue to ride it at least once per trip in the years to come. I love the story, the creativity, the fun things that it brings. I also will try to continue to use the mountain as a reminder of the mountain of faith I must have in God. Abraham had tremendous faith and is an example to us all. I pray to have the same faith in my continued walk with God, and I pray the same for you. Okay, I actually know a fact about Everest, the mountain ride, not the actual mountain, that I learned from a TikTok, actually, from a cast member, a former cast member, and they were showing the entrance to the ride, and it has all these backpacks hung up, all these, like, it's like the kind that a sleeping bag fits in. It's like a long duffel, and they have, I want to say 100 of them just hung along the entrance of the ride. And this cast member said that these were actual backpacks recovered from Mount Everest that Disney had flown in and hung up as decoration. And that's such a Disney thing to do. I just thought that was really cool. Bye guys, I'll see you tomorrow.